Okay, it's bank holiday, Easter Monday. It's morning, it's about 8 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock. And we're going off down to Lymm today. So this is the Didsbury flood basin. Just cycle down the river, down that way. And there's a park, I sometimes go around and make a right here around a park on a short trip, but we're just going to go straight down the river, all the way along. And the plan is to end up in Lymm. I thought we'd have a quick chat just about tyres and suspension. I'm going along riverbank today mainly, and a couple of cycle paths. So you get typical. Some of it's a bit rocky, some of it's a bit sandy, a bit gravelly, some of it. And the question is always what to do about tyres and suspension. I also use this bike to commute to work in the morning, which has some road sections and mainly along tarmac as well on the off-road cycleway. So what we've got on here are the Marathon Plus touring tyres. The widest ones I can fit on the bike, I think, which are 47mm tyres. So that they're wide and they're renowned. The Marathon Plus tyres are renowned as basically being puncture-proof. I mean, they're not tubeless and they're not actually theoretically puncture-proof, but in actual practical use, they're pretty good. In terms of suspension, we have a fork here which you can lock out, but I don't for travel. You see the travel there. I don't tend to lock it out because most of the routes I take have some sort of bumpiness on them. They're ideal for this sort of route. I mean, they're not proper mountain bike suspension, but it's just very comfortable when it comes to going over cobbles or rocky ground on that are sort of I experience on my commute and on general rides down the river and along cycleways. This is a suspension seat post, so there's also some travel on that, which is also just nice. Just gives an extra bit of suspension when you're doing things like going over cobbles. Okay, so one of the nice things about this route is it's really easy. It takes you down some beautiful Cheshire countryside and along the River Mersey and then the Bridgewater Canal. It's entirely off-road, bar a couple hundred yards of tarmac, and it's really easy for kids to do. It's flat, there's very little elevation in the whole route. I'll post a Strava link at the end so you'll see, but it's very easy for anyone to cycle up and down at your own pace, and it's very beautiful indeed, as you can see. So I'm only a few kilometres in. We're just at Didsbury here, so this is Stenner Woods and Didsbury. You can just see over there, and we'll see how we do. On from Didsbury, just a quick word: if you are travelling this route, it's quite rocky, quite rough down there. It's all right if you've got a touring bike or a mountain bike, but if you've got kids or something, it's better to come up on the top here. There's a smoother route that goes along the top, so that's fine. It goes along a golf course, side of a golf course, as you can see just up ahead there. But that's just a hint for when you get just past Didsbury, you'll see that you can go up or down. Take the higher route because it's smoother on. It's a lot smoother than the route down, which has quite a lot of rocks and a bit juddery. Okay, so this is just in between Didsbury and Chorlton. We're just coming down the river. Didsbury's behind us now. We went over the two tracks, the higher track and the lower track. We went alongside the golf course on the higher track because it avoided sand and gravel and all sorts of not particularly pleasant surface to cycle over. And now we find ourselves, it's just a weir here, and we're going to go down towards Chorlton. It's a bit windy, this bit of the river, but you just pedal along. This is an e-bike. I'm not using any motor at the moment. I'm just pedalling along under my own power. There's no rush, tootling along at about somewhere between 15 to 20 kilometres an hour. If I put the engine on, I can obviously boost that to 25 kilometres an hour, which is the maximum of the assist. Another point I was going to make was just about tyre pressure. The tyres, are slimed, so if they do get any sort of puncture, they tend to self-repair, but it's very rare, say with the Marathon Pluses. The tyre pressure is about 60 on the 60 psi on the back tyre and 55 on the front tyre. I think you can run them up to 80, and you can run them down sort of in the 40s, but a ride at about 55 and 60 seems to me about the optimal for me for the combination of comfort and basic puncture proofing. It's probably the worst surface we come across on the ride. Most of the ride, once we get past Chorlton Water Park, well, nearly all the ride once we get past Chorlton Water Park's on very nice tarmac or very nice riverbank, which isn't a problem. Really easy to ride all the way down to Lymm on a cycle path. But this particular bit is pretty grotty when it comes to, as you can see, very gravelly, stony, Not much fun really. The alternative is to cross a bridge earlier and actually go along that bank, which I avoided because it's mainly just grass. And the last time I did it, which was a couple of months ago, it was very wet and rainy and sludgy and a bit muddy and hard work. But actually on a really dry day like today, it's been dry for all week. It's been Easter week in England, mid-April and late April, and it's gorgeous weather. It's coming up to, I think, 22 degrees today, which is unseasonably warm for this time of year, let's put it that way, and unseasonably dry as well. And yeah, the alternative actually, if it's dry, is to cross the bridge further back there and just go along this bank because it's a nice grassy bank, and it'll probably be smoother than trying to go over this stuff. It only goes on for a few hundred yards, but it's not a lot of fun. And it's I imagine if you had young kids or something, they wouldn't be very impressed with it. You can try to go up that side, but it's a bit tight, I think. Or not, so anyway. Okay, we're about 40 minutes in. I've done about just 11 kilometres, I think, just tootling along. So we haven't used any battery, except I used it for about 20 seconds through a sandy bit just to help me speed up. It's beautiful, as you can see. The track's sort of slightly better quality now. We're still in between Didsbury and Chorlton, so Chorlton Water Park's coming up in about 3 or 4 minutes, I imagine. As you can see, the blossoms out and butterflies are out and everyone's happy. So it's right, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's a Monday morning, although it's a bank holiday, so effectively it's a Sunday morning. And yeah, it's 9 a.m. So it'll get a bit hotter as we come on, but at the moment it's fairly relaxed. One of the uses of the batteries is going to be about a 65-kilometre trip, this, and coming back, especially back over sort of not the stony surfaces, it can be quite hard work. If the sun's high in the sky and you're a bit tired, you can get a bit blown on a normal bike, especially a heavy bike like this, which is 30 kilograms, heavy touring bike with all sorts of things in the panniers. So one of the uses I won't use the motor at all going out and out, but coming back if I'm tired and just want to get home, or if I'm a bit overheated, that's one of the great advantages of having an electric bike. You can just put the assist on, and all of a sudden you don't have to get stressed. Okay, going along the river, as you can see, and we're coming to a junction of cycle paths. So just for information, if you try to follow the Transpennine Trail from Didsbury, northern Didsbury, across to here to join up, you can do it, but it's not a very nice situation because it goes through along main roads, and frankly it's much nicer to go down the river and much safer to go down the river. It is faster to do it that way, so if you're somehow it's on a commute or something, you might want to do it that way. But in general terms, even now you can hear it's a relatively busy road. Talking about it's 9 o'clock on a bank holiday, so yeah. If it was a nice off-road cycle path, great, there's a good possibility there, but quite a lot of it's not. So this is Transpennine Trail Didsbury that way, which is just along the river, which is where we've come. And yeah, and that's more Wythenshawe Park, while I'm more Chorlton, Stretford, but Chorlton's where we're going. You see, this isn't signposted for bikes because, of course, if you were using a road bike, you wouldn't be able to go along the gravel very easily. It would just come across. So that's why for hybrid and mountain bikes or touring bikes it's ideal. But if you've got a strict road bike, you probably can't come down this way very easily. So 45 minutes in, maybe 12 kilometres or something. Obviously I've been stopping a bit to take photos and video. This is the entrance to Chorlton Water Park. So about a minute and a half back there was a signpost. Basically from then on in, the road surface is all good and good enough for road bikes. So it's pretty smooth sailing from here all the way down to Lymm now. It is totally smooth sailing from here all the way down to Lymm. So you'll see there's a weir there. Now if you've gone along the opposite bank, as you might have wanted to do to miss some of the gravel and sand and some of the harder surfaces, then you'd cross back over here. There's a bridge here, and we're going down this side. What I'll do is show you a bit of Chorlton Water Park, but you can actually continue straight on here, just straight through the gate and straight along the river. You just keep following it. It's very straightforward. Chorlton Water Park. It's a fairly large lake. Goes all the way around there. You can walk all the way around it. I think there's some ice cream vans and things usually kicking around. So if you're going on a short trip from, say, Stockport or Didsbury with kids, so it might be far enough for you. Obviously we're going on quite a long way. What we do is go straight along that path that leads parallel to the river. So we go through that path there, then just go back onto the river bank and just trundle along. So we've gone about a mile past Chorlton Water Park, which is down by the river that way. And we're now at the iconic Jackson's Boathouse, which is a pub. It won't be open because it's 9 o'clock or 10 past 9 on a bank holiday. But that's Jackson's Boathouse, and opposite Jackson's Boathouse is a bike hire place. So we might just go across that bridge, although we don't actually need to for the purposes of going to Lymm, but just to quickly show you. It's a good stopping point. Again, a cycle down at Jackson's Boathouse for a nice pub lunch, and a cycle back's probably quite doable on a normal Saturday or Sunday. And also you could even, so you could drive out here and park up and then hire bikes and go wherever you want from here. Come across the bridge just for demonstration purposes. This is the Jackson's Boathouse, the most dog-friendly pub apparently in the northwest. And we can see walk around a nice big garden there. You can sit out and there's nice food. Quite busy, very nice to eat. Also here's Velo Times, which is the bike hire place. Again, not open yet because it's 9 o'clock on a bank holiday morning. Why would it be? See, just a couple of shipping containers by the looks of it, and it's quite good to hire bikes from there, and they do servicing and sort you out if you have punctures or need repairs, etc. So that's good. And that along there's the way to Sail Water Park, which is a much bigger water park. People can actually paddleboard and have a small craft there out on the big lakes down there, bigger than Chorlton. So okay, but we're not going that way. We're going back across the bridge because we're going along, keeping going along the river because we're going to switch over to Bridgewater Canal. So Jackson's Boathouse is there. We just turn around. Very confusing. Jackson's Bridge, very confusing signposting. Chorltonville's back that way. It says Chorlton's 1.25 miles that way, although we've already been through Chorlton Water Park. And Northern Didsbury back down that way, down the river. And then this signpost is for Mersey Valley Wardens Visitor Centre and Sail Water Park, which you can also do. But the route you need to take to get towards Lymm and the Bridgewater Canal is down here, so we'll just keep going down here, keep following this road down here along the river. Some other cyclists are en route there. All the way along the river, past Jackson's Boat, and you come to this gate here, and you just go straight across the river, and you then come to a slightly damaged sign, but what you want is that Transpennine Trail Stretford one. So that's where we're going. We're going down here, so we're not going along the river now, we're leaving the river, and we're going, I think you can get to Bridgewater via the river, but this is easier. And so you're taking that route down here, you can see straight away, is a cemetery and a tunnel, and then you make a hard right onto the Bridgewater Way. So we'll just do that in a few seconds. Okay. It looks like, so the river's just alongside you there, but this is the path that you're taking, just straight down. Some quite nice little woods, so that's okay. And it's all beautiful tarmac, so you're zooming along here at this point. Here it is. It's literally very short, it's only a few hundred yards long, this bit that connects the river to the Bridgewater Canal. Here's, so obviously somebody can drive down it as well. I didn't think you can drive down here. But here's the cemetery, so you're on the right track. An old church, it's very nice. And then there's the tunnel, so we'll go down the tunnel and then you'll see through the tunnel it's a hard right onto the Bridgewater. We've come across just under the bridge there, comes out there, under the tunnel rather, past the cemetery to the tunnel, it comes out into this road here. And there's the Bridgewater Way, which we'll just have a quick look at in a second. It says route to Bridgewater Way there, which I might show you how it goes down that way, but in fact the fastest way of connecting is to make a hard right here, this Hawthorne Road. So we've just come there and just going up there, and the Bridgewater Way is only a few steps away. So it's up 3 steps. I think you have to carry your bike up 3 steps. Then you're straight onto the canal. If for some reason you can't go up 3 steps, you have to go the other route. I'll show you the 2 routes now. First of all, the actual signposted route, the Bridgewater Way. So we'll go down that way, and then I'll show you the shortcut. Corner now from that sign. This gets a bit confusing here, because this actually is the Transpennine Way. And there's no signpost across this bridge, yeah. But the only signpost takes you down on the Transpennine Way. But you don't want to go the Transpennine Way. You want to get onto the Bridgewater Way, which is different. So you don't want to follow that down unless you want to do the Transpennine Way route, of course. But that's not what we're doing, because what we're doing here is showing you how to switch from the River Mersey onto the Bridgewater Canal, which definitely isn't going down that way. and it's not very well signposted, so this is why I'm making the video, really, to help people not make mistakes. So cross the bridge if you want the flat way round. After just across the bridge in a few yards, and you pop out onto the Bridgewater Canal, which is here. That's the direction southwest. We're going down to Lymm. That's the direction if you want to go back up towards Manchester City Centre, past Old Trafford and that way. That's what it says, Stretford. Stretford's half a mile. And then there's Sale that way, which is where we're going. We're going through Sale and then Altrincham, past Altrincham, and then down towards Lymm. So that's fine. I'll just go back and show you the quick step, or the hard right at Jackson's Road as well, if you want to do that. I'm just coming back to the sign, the Bridgewater Way sign there, and Hawthorne Road, which we're going to go up. But it's just raining blossom. It's that time of the year, which I think is quite cute. A little bit of breeze and the blossom rains down. There you go. How cool is that? Literally the fastest way. That was a tunnel that we came through past the cemetery. You could always just portage up the steps if you've got a light bike, or you can make the hard right just at there, up Hawthorne Road, and you just come here, and you see you can just take the steps there. There's some you can't really see because there's a car in the way, but there's three little steps, and you just up onto the Bridgewater Way up there. So that's the absolute fastest way of getting on. Although so you have to carry your bike up 3 steps. 3 steps. I was lying. It's 4 steps. Those 4 steps. And you're straight on the Bridgewater Way. And there's a gentleman coming down, so I'll get out of his way. I've done just under 20 kilometres. I think about 19 kilometres. Obviously taking it very easy, come stopping and taking it gently. Here's the beauty of life on the canal. Lots of people jogging, cycling with their children in. Carry things. Here's the Gloria going past. Oh yeah, how cool is that? Beautiful. There you go, look at that. Somebody on a holiday, not picked a bad weekend for it. And that's fine. We're going to cycle out here. It's all like this, beautiful tarmac, lovely canal views. We're going to cycle down to Sale next. The canal just on Sale. This is the main shopping area of Sale, just above that bridge. That's where we are. Gentleman going past. Not much to say really. Still a beautiful sighting, beautiful day. Going to keep going on to Altrincham, which is a couple of miles down the canal. Favourite stretch is this, just between Sale and Altrincham. Really nice, peaceful waterway. Okay, still between Sale and Altrincham. There's just a graveyard there, and as you can see, people chugging past. Very nice. Nice easy cycling. On the way, just going past the outskirts of Altrincham, I suppose. Some new houses built there. A little marina here. Again, rather pleasant. I've just started to use. It's in the direct sunlight now. It's about 10:30. It's getting pretty warm, so it's going to get up to about mid-20s, low 20s today Celsius. I've just put the eco battery on to make travel's a little bit less sweaty. So that's one of the reasons to use the bike. The other reason is that I'm falling a bit behind schedule. I want to get back and have an afternoon with the family, so sped up a little bit just by using the battery on eco, which is about a 40% boost. So past Altrincham, the tarmac runs out. You've got about, I don't know, a mile, maybe half a mile on a riverbank or canal bank track, and then we take a cut just down a short country lane and onto a cycle path to Altrincham. To Lymm. Cycle path to Lymm, just past Altrincham. So we'll just take we'll take the next video where we're about to just go up the bank, but this goes on like this for about, I don't know, a mile, half a mile. Okay, thanks. So we've just come down there about maybe 800 metres or something to this bridge. Okay, and this is the bridge we get off at, so we've only gone down that path for a few hundred yards. And we just go up here, and then we've got a very quiet country lane which you go along for about another 400 yards, maybe 300 yards, and then take a left onto the Lymm cycle, the cycle route to Lymm. So we're just going to have a look at that. Okay, so there's the canal just come off, the little bridge, and we're going down that way. So we're going down there about 300 yards, and then we're making a left. Okay, so we'll just come down that road, going past this farm. We don't make a left into the farm, past Boathouse farm, and it's just over that bridge and down. Actually, it's just out that bridge. See the signpost just in the distance. We have to step down some steps. Up the Transpennine Trail again. Here it is. Those steps just past that farm I've just seen. The farm signs there. Back up, and we have to walk down the portage or bike down the steps. Now that's not a huge amount of fun, especially considering I'm 30 kilos a bike. But there you go. Your mileage may vary if you're riding something more reasonable. The foot of the steps, and altering that direction, and Lymm that direction. It's an Rower line, and it's a really nice ride. Nice tarmac path all the way. Quite heavy use by cyclists, runners, people walking dogs, that sort of stuff. Starting to get a bit warm because this is covered most of a lot of it, but some of it's open, and it can get quite warm here. So it's quite a warm, dusty day. It's only going to get warmer, so we're heading down for ice creams in Lymm. Lymm's about, I think, 6 miles away down here, maybe, but it's a fairly simple run. And this is the sort of scenario again where if you're getting a bit hot and bothered, you can just use a little bit of the battery to put a wind at your back, as it were. This cycle path is heavily used by children, families, up to cycle. See the beautiful countryside there. Just goes on for several miles. It's rather beautiful. Just a little crossing there. See a little Shetland pony being walked down. Somebody doing some repairs on one of his wife's bike, I think. But generally, apart from a couple of very small crossings like that, it's all entirely off-road. Although sites, one's planted an orchard. So go up here, you can see. It's just an orchard. All the small fruit trees just in blossom. I don't know if they're apple trees. I'm not sure what trees they all are. Oh, here come the family down the track again. And a helicopter. Well, this is Cheshire. Some people have got probably some footballer's helicopter, I imagine. Heatley on the Transpennine. We'll basically see the map there. There's the coast to coast. So you start at Southport if you want to, and then go across. And that's on the route. One of the things I'm fancying doing at some point is taking a train out to Southport one morning, and then just coming down from Southport all the way down to Stockport, where I live. Another possibility that I do want to do is go up onto the North Pennine and go up to Hebden Bridge. It's another day ride I want to do as well. But this is part of the Transpennine, so if you're coming in from Southport or one of the other areas doing coast to coast, then you'd come past here. It's very nice. Just looking at the map up here, see where we are. So there's Altrincham, fine. We've come along here, and Lymm isn't very far away. So we're just going to keep on going down, and Lymm, we're going to cut into Lymm off here. So we're almost there. We can keep going, as you said, but that's probably enough. And Dunham Massey, which is a National Trust house, was there. So you could have come off an Altrincham and got to Dunham Massey. So we're doing Lymm today. You're unlikely to go wrong, but the path comes along here, and then you just have to cross a relatively busy road. Not super busy, but relatively busy, just to continue on down there. So just in case you're tempted by or confused by crossing the road, main road, you have to get across there and down there. Okay, so this is the one not to miss. Here's the turning we're making. So you've just come along here, yeah, through that one, and that's the turning up there to Lymm. Okay, so let's see what it has a name on it. I'm not sure it does. says Transpennine Trail, doesn't actually have a road number on there. Let's just have a look. You want to identify it other than the fact it's the one with a short turn up onto the road. There's like a little substation there, so it's just by a little electrical substation. That's how you know. And there's obviously there's a rugby pitch there in the background, some sort of rugby club I imagine. So that's where you're making the left turn up into Lymm. Stumbled across some sort of festival. I don't know what sort of festival it is, but we'll have a look. But at least it means there'll be some nice food to have, I imagine. I was going to go to Sexton's coffee shop, but it looks a bit rammed. That's where I usually sit, and it's usually a quiet little place. I just sit by the duck pond and chill out. But I don't think it's very chilled out today. But never mind. At least I get some nice burger or something. So this is all a bit quackers. It's the annual duck race apparently. They have on Bank Holiday Monday, charity duck race. So I was going to sit and just chill out by the duck pond, but it's the last place on earth to try to chill out today, I think, because there's loads of people in festivals in town, and lots of gourmet food and ice cream, and hordes and hordes of people. So there we go. Yeah, a can of Coke and this is a wild boar burger, I think. Very reasonable. Yeah, quiet, relaxing chill out by the duck pond, as promised. Centre of Lymm at the canal, Bridgewater Canal. You can't cycle down here; it's too narrow. So, but yeah, there's the hill on top, which I'll just show you in a second. This is where you come in. The cross and the hill. There's a hill down. You follow that road round on the right, takes you down to the bakery in the duck pond, which is Lymm Centre, Sexton's Bakery. It's always nice to stop at. And here's the hill we've just come down. And I'll show you the route, the fastest route in from the Lymm site, the cycle route, the cycle path we've taken. Bridge and just over the canal, and it's Danebank Road, so it's a left there, or rather we come up that way, it's a cobbled road, we come up that way and make a right up over the hill down into Lymm Centre. In my memory it was cobbled, maybe it's not cobbled, but anyway it's got road humps in it, and that's the road that you come up from the cycle route, from the cycle path up, make a right over that bridge down into Lymm Centre, and that avoids all the traffic, because you see that's basically a pedestrianised road. Okay, so some family of cyclists going up there to see the ducks, and that is the Dane Road, so very rarely there's any traffic on it. There's one guy who probably lives on it, trying to get up there. And you come down here to Lymhay Road, and Lymhay Road is the road that you just cuts onto the cycle route, back onto the cycle route, and then we'll be going back along. So that's the way to get off the cycle route and back onto it. At top of the bridge, at the top of the centre, Lymm Centre, over the Bridgewater Canal Bridge, and then straight down this road to Lymhay Road. This is Dane Road, I think, a Great Dane Road. This road, and it comes down to Lymhay Road. Noon now, the temperature's rising. The trip back's not very exciting. I'm just going to retrace my steps, so probably take a lot less video going back. I will use the battery more. Just it's getting warmer, and I need to get a move on. So that's the plan. These are all little small new builds near Lymm, because places like Lymm and Nuts are very expensive, and people will pay a lot of money for tiny houses with no gardens. I mean, they'll pay a lot more money for houses with huge gardens, but about £1 million plus. I've just cycled that last section with a young couple who were on like 8 kilogram road bikes. I had insane weight jealousy. I was cycling along. I did turn at Eco on, and so I kept up with them, just behind them. Yeah, I keep feeling that on days like this, on flat rides, I really shouldn't be worrying about lugging a 30 kilogram thing out. I should just be getting a very light sort of 10 kilogram, 12 kilogram, I don't know, Marin or something like that. Hybrid. I don't think I'd want to go road bikes, because you get punctures all the time, and that's just a pain. And also a lot of the places I go down aren't very puncture friendly. Rather than carrying the bike up the steps back onto the cut through to the canal, I've gone along to the next junction, which is the old Atlantic Street car park. Atlantic Street car park takes you to Altrincham Centre if you go up Atlantic Street. I'm going to try to go along the other road just there to see if I can get back onto the canal more easily. And it's not a route I've tried before, so we'll see what happens, but might as well have a bit of an explore. It just takes you literally a couple hundred yards along a road, round a corner, up a little hill, over a bridge with some traffic lights, but at that point you just drop back down on the canal. So that's the easy way of getting back on the canal. So the alternative is to either keep going along the canal and then cut down that quiet road, or to get off the canal earlier, get off a bit earlier here, and then go down that road, which is a slightly busier road, but not too terrible as you can see, and then that'll be fine. So you've got two options there for getting onto the Lymm cycle track directly from the canal in a couple of 100 yards. So that's good. If we're looking for when we have to go up, if we're going down the canal, so that's the way back to Stockport. That's the way to Lymm. If you're going down the way to Lymm, there's a sign there. There's no dogs, no horses, no swimming. Just before that little bridge, you just go up there onto the bridge and just go right. And then you go right and you make a first left at Atlantic Street. Well, you make a first left at the Atlantic Street car park, and you're back onto the Lymm cycle track. So that's the way to do it. Oh, I just passed Altrincham on the way back. Some swans down the river. By what's no doubt very expensive new build flats somewhere. There you go. It's looking for something. Don't know if he or she found it. Hold the breath well, can't I? There you go. Up we go. I suppose you're a swan, it's useful to be able to hold your breath. Hey, it's 10 to 1 and heat the midday sun's on us. I'm feeling perfectly fresh because I've been on Eco Boost for the last few miles. This is where we get off. Remember, we can go down through those, we'll call them, those sort of semi-gates, slow bicycles and bikes down, and then go down those 4 steps, or we can just go this way, which takes us straight back onto the Mersey. So that's the plan, and that's where we're going. So that's how we get off. So bye bye to the canal. It's been fun, and back onto the River Mersey. We've come off the canal under the tunnel past the cemetery. My doggie's not going to its mistress, but it's just about to turn up finally. Vandalised sign. We're back across the bridge onto the River Mersey and down the left bank to Jackson's Boathouse. Jackson's Boathouse now, and the beer garden is no doubt full and rocking. It's relatively tempting to stop off for a nice cool cider, especially as I'm not driving on any roads. But I'd better get back, I think, because I've left the house for several hours now. I set up about just after 8 and it's 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. It'll take me an hour to get back, so I think I better keep moving rather than stop for a cider, tempting as it is. There we go. I'm sure there are tasks to do. We're back at Chorlton Water Park. Lots of people turning up there now. I imagine they're all doing okay. We've just come along that road, obviously parallels the river. And we're going to go across the bridge here because you remember we came up fairly rocky territory down that river path. So we're going to go across the river and down the other side just to see if it's any better. The advantage we can see is that side's in the sun and this side is in the shade. So I think we'll score 1-0 to going, at least this time of day, back on this bank. We'll see how it goes. Balance the correct decision, I think. As I said, when it's been raining and wet and wintry, this gets very muddy. You don't want to come down this side. But when it's dry, you get a bit more shade, and also more at the point, you know, that horrid rocky surface you don't get. You just get mud basically, which is okay. It's that sort of flattened soil. It's not a bad, not terrible path. So this is the best path in the summer when it's warm, I think. So you go this far side of the bank, otherwise you stay the near side of the bank if it's winter or the conditions might be wet. Okay. We're back at the weir. Well, we're just going to go over the bridge, back along there, then ride along past Didsbury Golf Course, back towards Didsbury. So that was successful, I think, to go on that side of the path for a bit. Yes, you get on under the bridge, just so I can cross that bridge, and you come under this bridge. Remember, top path. Top path is the one with a nice track, bottom one bit rocky. Top path's the one you want, it goes past the golf course. Centre Woods in Didsbury. Right, so to get back to Edgeley where I live, we'll just go straight along the river. Oh, that's the cunning plan. How long have we been going for now? It's now 1:44. 1:44 and my trip counter says 3 hours 42 so far. So it's about a 4-hour round trip, a couple of hours there, a couple of hours back. I've come back on the Eco all the way. I've lost a bar. But it's difficult to tell because they're in 20% chunks, so I'm between 60 and 80% battery. I've also been 1800%, but I think I probably had about 85 or maybe 90 at most when I set off. So it's a bit difficult in the Bosch system sometimes to tell exactly how much battery you've used, but in any event it's a relatively trivial amount, certainly no more than 20% max, and possibly a lot less. Not saying the bike's very comfortable. It's 4 hours in the saddle on a hot day, but the saddle's comfortable, the handlebars are very comfy. There's so much to say. It's rock solid, the bike. It's got suspension. I can lock it out if I want to, but obviously don't on this sort of surface. If you're on pure tarmac, you might. Yeah, and it's just very reliable. I've done over 1,000 kilometres on it since I got it. I got it end of December 2018. So I've had it about 4 months. Obviously a couple of months of which haven't been great for cycling, weather-wise. So I put over 1,000 kilometres on, and it's been absolutely rock solid, not a single complaint. So there we have it. I will toddle along the river now. Okay, 3 hours 47. We're back at the sluice gate in Didsbury. Saying go along there. That takes you back up to Parswood Road, I think. But that's the way back to Edgeley along there, past the Waterside Health Club and under the bridge, under the M60 bridge, past the Waterside Health Club, and then just along the Transpennine cycle path along to Stockport, or towards Stockport. You get off at the bridge just actually at Gorsey Bank. So it'll take about 15 minutes to get back. Okay. We've gone past the Waterside, over the bridge, down through the switchback. Now we're on the tarmac. We're just going to join up with the Transpennine cycleway that runs down to Stockport along the Mersey. It's 2 o'clock and we're almost back now at Edgeley, just past the horses, and that's the road along the river. The river's just over that hedge there, and very good. The bridge at the top of my road, Gorsey Bank Bridge, the bridge across the Mersey at Gorsey Bank, and that's it. So we'll be going up the hill and home. So I hope you've enjoyed the trip to Lymm and back, and got some ideas of exactly the route to follow so you don't get lost. Cheers. Home. There we are. It's very difficult to tell with the Bosch system because it only does it in 20% chunks, but I think I've used about 20-25% of the battery. And there we have it. Home we are. Just have to go past 2, so still got some things to do this afternoon. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm not particularly out of breath. I'll put the Strava link up so you can see. I put a bit of heart rate monitor on so you can see, but I don't think when I looked at my heart rate it was around 130, so I wasn't really pushing it at all, just gently toddling along. Okay, thanks a lot.